we will put everybody on mute and let's see how we go. All righty. So basically, guys, what I want to do is just touch on this plan sheet again. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Drop that down there. I want to share the screen and go and find the plan sheet wherever the heck that might be. It's got to be here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Now, I'm assuming everybody can see all that. So, with the plan sheet, the reason we've got this sheet is it's a good, solid guideline and an explanation that you can follow when you show the plan either one-on-one or in a in-home group meeting. And what you would do is you'd be reading the sheet and everybody themselves would have a sheet. And the purpose of this is, A, it keeps you on track so as you know where to start, and we know where to finish, and we know where to show the videos, right? The other side of this is the psychology here is this. We don't want the people who are seeing this for the first time to think, wow, you're so clever. How do you remember all that stuff? Oh my God, I could never do that. We don't want them thinking that. We want them thinking, and we're going to tell them, look, you got to understand, all I'm going to do is read this sheet. If I can read the sheet, you can read the sheet. And they'll go, oh, yeah, I can read this sheet. So when you're finished showing the plan, at least they know that all you did was read the sheet, ask a couple of questions in here, and play the video. That's all you did. Then when we get to the second side of the sheet, we show them how that they can become cash flow positive in 60 days or less. Because if they're doing 100 BV a month, that's about $200 a month. So they've spent $400 in 60 days and they've made $500 in bonus, not counting any PIB that might have come out of any of this or any cycle bonuses. So immediately we're showing them how if they sponsored two, who sponsored two, and everybody did 100 BV, and they did that in less than 60 days, they're going to make a minimum of $500. Now, $500, well, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but for some people it's a heck of a lot of money, and it's it's $500 more than you had last week. Now, we keep putting this in here. Everybody eats food every day, right? Now, I'm going to come back and that's a Tanya Kirkpatrick thing. You know, everybody eats food, and she's got a little shopping trolley. So, you know, we've got our little shopping trolley full of goodies, right? That's our little prompt, if you like. And again, we just go down through here and explain this to them. Now, this bit here, it's simple, right? It's simple. We put that in there in big letters purposely. Why? We want people to understand how simple this is. All we do to make that sort of money is we swap brands. Start using the products available out of your own business. We order in advance. We share the concept with some friends, and we teach those who join with us to do the same. You see, it's going to work if you want it to work. It's up to you. It's not up to your upline. It's not up to your downline. It's not up to Trevor. It's not up to Jim and Kathy. It's up to you. It's up to me, for us to make our business work. Now, this bit here, this demonstrates the massive duplication factor, right? This is brilliant. You plus two, them plus two in 60 days, $500. They've just seen this bit again, right? You go you plus six, them plus two in 120 days, that's $1,650. and you can draw that out for them. And then you just keep going down, and this is only working on 2 shakes and 2 bars. So it's just meal replacements. It's not getting fit. It's not losing weight. It's not being an athlete. It's not being any of that stuff. It's just food. This is basically a bare minimum. It's about a $50 a week transfer spend. But if you had 6 people who also found their 6, who found their 6, who found their 6, that's $10,000 a month. Now, I reckon that's pretty fine. That's fine money. But if those 6 just there went out and found their 6, that's $60,000 a month. You see, everybody eats food every day, right? Learn, do, teach, repeat. So there's 4 steps. We got to learn it. We got to do it. We have to teach those people who get in with us how to do it. And then we go and repeat. Learn, do, teach, repeat. So what they've actually got now is, we explain this little bit up here, how normally the householder would go over here to the shops to buy their food. The shops bought the food out of the wholesaler, and you take it home and you've paid full price. And I don't care if it is on special, you still paid too much for it. Whereas if we went over here and bought our food over here at the warehouse, got it delivered back to our place, you're going to save money, and by teaching others, you can earn money. Then we go, so they've seen the plan once. Then we go through this bit and show them the video. They've seen the plan twice. We then show them this bit, and they've seen the plan 3 times. Then we go through this bit, and they've seen the plan 4 times in about an hour and 20 minutes. But they've seen it in different ways, because different people grasp things either through the written word or pictures or verbal or combination. And that's why I like using this sheet, because it fits just on 2 pages. It's not complicated. It's simple, and anybody can do it. Now, so in doing all that, the reason we stick to that process. Now, you can move it around. You can put your own personality in it. You'll tell stories and add bits and pieces or whatever. But by doing that, we know that process works. We just don't know how many people you're prepared to put it in front of, right? And it's always got to be put in the benefit of them, in their benefit, right? You know, that'd make a heck of a difference, wouldn't it? You know, an extra $1,000 a week change most people's lifestyle. True? Yeah, right? Okay, so we do all that sort of stuff. Now, I'm going to get a little bit tough, okay? And I'm going to get a little bit tough because watching Trevor's video, not Trevor's video, but the video that he put up the other night from New Year Kickoff with all the recognitions. Again, I was talking to Mike about it. The only thing that those guys have done that we haven't done is they've shown a lot more plans. They've got out of their own head, stopped playing mental games with themselves, and just gone, burn the ships, we're going for it, right? Now, I don't mean to be awful good, folks, but I know each and every one of you. And I can tell, I know as an actual fact, none of us are making $3.5 million a year just right now. I can tell that, right? I can tell that by looking out my front door at my shitty old Commodore. Right? And, you know, at the end of the day, I'd like that thing to look something like a Maserati or a Jaguar or something. But that's just not going to happen right now. And, you know, where you want to go holidaying, I mean, look, a tent's great, but a 5-star hotel in Europe is probably a lot more comfortable, right? We know this. So what are they doing to earn that sort of money? They've got the same bonus structure you and I have got. They've got pretty much the same product range. Product range is not going to make a lot of difference, right? They've got basically the same leadership you and I have got. What have they done that's different? Well, one, I think they've taken it on faith a little bit more that if they go out and put the work in, they'll get a result. Now, Lisa's gone out, like she set a goal over Christmas, and she's gone out and started nailing it down. And it's working, right? It's working. So let me share the screen again. And let's have a look at this. All righty, factors affecting growth. All righty, the average presentation a month per active associate. Well, let's say you're doing just under one a week, right? Oh yeah, I'm out there showing the plan. Yeah, once a week, right? And 1 in 4 are going to get in. Now, you're only going to get about 1 in 4 because you're still a bit rusty at showing the plan, because it's not an automatic response. You know, it's not flowing. You're sort of reading every line. It's not a flow for you, and people can tell you're a bit rusty. So you're only going to get 1 in 4. You get good at it, that'll turn up to a 1 in 2.
Your screen's blank, Tim.
Oh, okay, my screen's blank. Thanks, John. Thank you. I don't know why my screen went blank. Now I've got a really interesting situation going on. Okay, let me do this. I'll stop sharing. Okay, so we're back again. Yep, okay, we'll try and share the screen again. Okay, can we see that? No? Some can. Yeah, now we got it. Okay, good, beautiful. All right, so here we go again. So we're doing 3 plans. We're sponsoring 1 in 4. So you're going to go out all week and not even sponsor a single person. And that's going to be downhearted, because you're going to think, well, hell, it's not working. Right? And then only 10% of those get in do anything. So this is what your business is going to look like after 24 months. But I'll guarantee you, London to a brick, some of those 44 will have quit before they got to the end of the first 12 months, because nobody wants to hang around something that's stagnant. They love being around some action. They love being around the environment and getting excited and being a part of something that's moving. Right? Let me show you what some of these guys have been doing. I was having a chat with Trev, and this is the number of plans. Some of them that have been out there really shaking it up have been doing a month. 30 plans a month. Now, Lisa, you had an in-home last night, and there was, 4 or 6 people there? So that would be 4 or 6 out of that 30. Okay? So it's not hard to show 30 people a month the business. Right? Then what happens is this changes to 1 in every second one getting in. Now, I don't know what sort of business model you've got in your mind, what you want to achieve. These numbers are a little bit different than the previous numbers. The BV would be different. The money would be different. The whole thing. There's only one thing that's changed, just one, and that's this. The average number of presentations per month that you go and show. Now, I don't have any control over any of the plans other than those that I show myself or that I can book in depth. Okay? And that's the same for you because it's your business. But I can tell you, this is what drives the network. This is what drives the network. It's the product's got to be good. I understand that. The compensation plan's got to be good. But this is the fuel in the tank. This is the horsepower. If there's no horsepower going on here, if we put this back here to even to 4, right? And we've put this back to 4. Whoops, not 24. 4, right? So we downgrade the horsepower, we downgrade the result. We increase the horsepower, we increase the result. That's the only difference that Lynn Hagedorn and all these others and Jimmy Smith and Herb and Patty Cepeda, the only difference is they have sponsored somebody, booked an in-home. Gone and done those in-home. From those in-homes, they've taught the person they've sponsored how to do an in-home, and they've gone down underneath and done more in-homes. They've driven it down, down, down. That's what they've done. Now, as long as we know what they've done, and it's not difficult to do, except we play this game in our head about, oh, well, what will people say? What if what if I go there and I muck it up? What if this? What if that? What if I book a meeting and nobody turns up at my house? What if I book a meeting down in depth and nobody can? Look, get out of your own head. I can tell you, Wah is doing a hell of a job at keeping you where you are. Right? You wouldn't believe it. I was talking to a guy today, and he's a sales manager in a pretty large organisation. And I said, well, you would have heard of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's material. Who? This guy had never heard of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I said, you're the sales manager, aren't you? He said, yeah. I said, well, all right, then let's go down a different path. Do you have your sales team working with self-affirmations? He said, well, what are they? I want to tell you, you people are so far in advance, well-trained than people out there in the sales industry. You already know more than what they do. You are highly, highly skilled because you've got the tools. You know, it's in the Iron Age, they could forge iron to iron. It looked a bit ugly, right? The tools they had were pretty rudimentary. Today, they've got TIG welders and MIG welders and all that sort of stuff, and it's seamless. You can't even see where they've welded stuff these days. The tools have got better. The concept's the same. And so you've got the tools. We've got the plan sheet. We've got the videos. We've got all that stuff. All that's missing is your belief, I think, that this is actually possible for you. Right? I've got to tell you, it is. Right? And again, I was talking to Trevor on Monday night, and he said, you know, and this is not to downgrade any of the people I'm about to speak about, but he said when he started off in networking 30 odd years ago, he said, Des Toohey, who was my sponsor back then, he said, Des definitely wasn't the sharpest bloke, sharpest tool in the tin. You know, Trevor would say, going through the plan, he'd say, you know, what would you do with an extra $500 a week? And Des would wake up and go, have a day off, go back to sleep. Right? Johnny Hargraves couldn't even afford a decent pair of shoes. Stone motherless broke dairy farmer. Right? Jimmy Bond. Jimmy was worse off than Hags. None of them were leadership material. right? Johnny Haggs went diamond. We went emerald. We weren't the sharpest tool either. When Trevor came over to do our first meeting, I was too scared to ask anybody. And Corinne said to me that day, "Who have you got coming for the meeting tonight?" And I said, "Nobody." She said, "Well, you've got to ring Trevor and stop him from coming over. He's not driving all the way over here for nothing." Right? And I said, "Well, I can't do that either." I was terrified either way. So I got on the phone and I rang 5 people. Right? Well, I rang 3 because 2 of them were at work. I went back to work after lunch and I said, "What are you blokes doing tonight?" They said, "Oh, not much." "Why?" I said, "Good. I've got a bloke coming over to my place from Victoria. He's going to talk about making money. You owe me some favours. I want you to sit down, shut up, say nothing, and when he's finished, you're free to go." And that's what I said to the people on the phone as well. That's how I booked my first meeting ever in networking. Come and fill up a seat. Sit down, shut up, and say nothing. Look intelligent. Right? 3 of them got in. I thought, "Oh, this is pretty easy." And away we went from there. Right? You don't have to get your approaches perfect. You just got to get them in front of the plan. They've just got to sit down, shut up, and look intelligent. Right? We all get into our act about how we've got to be professional at this and we've got to ask the right way and we've got this and got that. Look, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person and you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person. Okay? The wrong person, you could offer to give them gold bricks. And as soon as they turned up at the house and tried picking up one of them bricks, they go, "Oh, it's a bit heavy, mate. I mean, how am I supposed to carry this around, you know?" "No, I don't think I'll bother." Right? Guys, it's in here. It's in here. On Team FSI, Trevor's got the first 5 chapters of A Bug-Free Mind and some videos. There's about 10 hours all up. It might take you a week to get through it. But if you won't put in 10 hours to get this sorted so as you can go out and make a lot of this, what's going to happen? Right? So let me share the screen again. Got lots of little things I want to share on the screen tonight. All right. Can we see this one? Yep. Yes. Give me a wave. Can't see this one yet. Okay. Well, we'll go back and get it again. Stop sharing the screen. We'll go back and we will find it. Is that showing up yet or not? No, I see what's going on. All righty. It's been a little bit tricky for me tonight. So what I've got to do is I need to shut that one down. No, it's not going to work for me. Bear with me for a second, guys. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in here and I'll get that. And I'll shut that down. All righty. Okay, let's try this one more time. All right. Hopefully we'll get it this time. Okay, can we see that one? Yes? Okay, now we got it. All right. Business by the numbers. there's less than an MCG full of people right across the country, right? Therefore, there's 9,600 households in the whole country. There's 0.63%. We might call it, we've had the biggest month we've ever had, so it's probably a bit better than that now, but it's still less than 1%. Now, 20 cycles, 10 cycles, $600 a week, $1,200 a week, somewhere in there, that's going to make a big difference to the majority of people that you know. The great majority of them that you know, if they had that coming in as a part-time basis, that'd make a big difference. And you know these people, and some of them you haven't bothered to ask. And I showed the plan to a young guy yesterday, and he's in real estate. And I said to him, Ross, what would you do, with an extra, $600 to $1,000 a week? I said, I'd just put that into more real estate. Well, okay. And I said, well, what about $2,000 a week? He said, well, yeah, that'd just prop up my investments, more real estate. So I showed him this. And I said, mate, have a look at this. And I'd already shown him the plan. So this is after the plan, and we've got it all drawn out. And I said to him, if you've got 20 lots of 600 on one side and 20 lots of 300 on the other side, so you've got a big number of people in your group. I said, but that's the equivalent of having $2 million invested at 3%. But I said, the difference here is, Ross, you don't have any capital at risk. And he just sat there and he goes, hell, you're right. All I've done is eat food. I said, yeah. He said, so if the real estate market goes down, I lose nothing. I said, yeah. Geez. I went down, I showed him down here to 8 Star. And he said, oh, 15. He said, no, it's not 1,500. He said, that's 15,000. I said, yeah, mate, that's the value of having $26 million in real estate tied up. How do you feel? He said, I think I better take this a bit more seriously. Show me again. We went through the numbers again. You see, how do you get from 1 cycle a week to 10 cycles a week? It's simple. You help somebody on this side and somebody on that side do 5 cycles a week. Well, how do we get them to 5 cycles a week? Well, it's simple. Help them get somebody on one side at 2 cycles and somebody on the other side at 3. They're doing 5. They're doing 5. You're doing 10. And if that's all you ever did and taught them how to get to 10 and then teach the next one how to get down to 10 and teach the next one down how to get down to 10, you would build hundreds of cycles. But it doesn't happen by thinking about it. And I say it again, I'm sorry for being a little bit rough and tough, but at the end of the day, when 350 something, nearly 360 people walk across stage earning anywhere from $100,000 to $3.5 million, and they've got the same bonus structure you and I have got, they've got the same product range you and I have got, and they've got the same leadership you and I have got, then I've got to say the only thing they're doing is doing more than what we're doing because they're making more. The only way to make more is do more. It's that simple a business. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. All right? Now, bear with me for a second. I'm going to have a quick look here. Yep. Yeah, look, Peter's put in there, Andy Shaw is very anti-self-help books. Yeah, mate, he is. He's anti-self-help books from the perspective of, and the way he explains it is this, that we've read that many books and gone to that many seminars that they should have turned us all into multi-millionaires by now. The reason they haven't is we've got a corrupted virus running around inside on the hard drive. So what he's saying is, clean this up, get rid of the negative, get rid of wah-wah, and then select the stuff that you want and absorb it completely. Because otherwise we're just trying to tip good information in, and there's a virus on your drive, and no matter what program you tip in, it's never going to really take because the virus is already in there, right? And, you know, one of the things, and look, I don't disagree with Andy totally. I think we've got to have a certain amount of outside input to make sure that we're on track, because left to our own devices, most of us are a bit negative anyway. It's just the way we were brought up. You know, Mum always said, be careful. Don't climb that tree. Don't do this. Don't do that. So that's built into us. But let's clean the hard drive up. Let's get wah-wah sorted out. And in doing that, you know, once you go through that bug-free mind stuff, and what we're doing is we're hanging off. We've got some other material of Andy Shaw's, but we want you to go through those 5 chapters and go through that first. Then we've got some little nuggets, you know, they're little 5 and 10 minute videos, audios actually, that we'll scoot out to you that are just really clever, very, very clever. And so in doing that, once we get ourselves sorted out to the point where we're not double guessing ourselves, we know that Isagenix works. We know they pay more money than you can shake sticks at, but they will only ever pay it on performance. They will only ever pay it on performance. And, you know, when I was showing Ross the plan yesterday, he knew it was Isagenix. He's got a mate somewhere that's in Isagenix, and he knows that basically what he's doing is just selling the product. And I said, no, mate. I said, we don't sell the product. And I've got to thank Adam Chesney for this line, right? I said, no. We market a system on how to make money, and we eat the product. We use the product. We market a system on how to make money, and we use the product. That's what we do, right? So what we're doing is when we're talking to people, we're building a business by teaching people how to make money. Now, to make the money, they've got to consume some of the product. And, you know, I think it was Jay Bennett. He's got this somewhere down in his group, this dear sweet old lady. She's only ever sponsored 2 people, one left, one right. Hang on a second. And to get the bonuses, she's got to do 100 points. And she said to Jay, but I just can't keep eating 100 points. Now, she's making about $300,000 a year because those 2 people took off, built businesses. Jay said, sweetie, give it to the Salvation Army or throw it in the rubbish bin. Doesn't make any difference, right? Because we're in the business of teaching people to make money. We consume the product. Right? Now, if the dear sweet old lady can't eat 100 points worth in a month, well, you know, buy it anyway and give it away. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You got to look at this. I saw my brother, who had the catering rights at Cryle Castle in Victoria. I saw him build an extension on his house to house his indoor heated swimming pool. His extension is the same size as the house I live in. in that swimming pool, there was 8 steps leading down into the pool. Those steps were 15 feet wide, like 15 feet across the front of the pool. In those steps, each step had 4 compartments in it, all waterproofed, right? Those compartments were full of cash. And at one stage, we pulled the cash out and counted it. And there was a bit over $4.5 million in cash in his swimming pool, right? You know, we fiddled around with cars and we bought and sold some of the rarest cars in the world. So we've seen money, we've had money, we've spent money, we've lost money, and we've been stone muddlers broke for most of our life. The money's been fleeting. Been good when it comes, bad when it goes. But I have never, ever, 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 ever seen a system like Isagenix have got for producing an ongoing, long-term, massive income. Massive income. Like $3.5 million a year. And you've got to understand, that's not where it tops out. Europe hasn't opened properly yet. India hasn't started yet. Most of South America is not running yet. These people are going to build empires across all those nations. So when we sit here today and we talk about people making $3.5 million, well, you won't get on that stage that we just saw at 100,000. They'll be millionaires. You'll have to be making $1 million a year to get onto that stage. Not 100 grand. And the people that are now making 3 million, well, they're probably making 12 or 15 or 16 million a year. Now, your name can be amongst them. We're not spectators in this thing. We're participators. But we've got to participate at a rate that will create a difference. We've got all the tools we need. We've got Team FSI website, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And all it needs is for you folk here tonight, and me, I'm not leaving me out of this equation at all, is to go out with a bit more passion and drive and bring the people in whose names are going to be on that stage as well. They're going to be there with you. They're going to be, they could be family members, they could be strangers today and friends tomorrow. You just don't know. But they've got to be there. Because somebody will ask them. Somebody will pluck up the courage and get out of their own head and ask. You know, it's interesting. I was listening. I like listening to music some nights before I come on to the webinar. It just sort of helps get me in the right frame of mind. And I was listening to the music from the man from Snowy River, and Jim brings in the Brumbies, and the passion, the music that stirs you up, and to see him rage down that hill, to take that plunge over the edge and ride that horse. And that was a real shot. That happened. And it wasn't all taken in one shot. That took 3 times to get that. Right? Different times the horse folded or he'd come off or whatever. But it took 3 shots to get that. And we know that because that guy got approached to get into Trevor's Amway business. And he said, oh, hell no, I could never do that. Why not? I said, I just don't like rejection. This bloke will ride a bloody horse off a cliff and charge down this mountain, leaning back against the back of the horse, but he didn't like rejection. And I watched that, and I when I see him clear that crest and he goes over the side, I always remember that. And then I look at the courage that he had to ride down that thing, and the music in behind it sort of, man, I tell you what, if ever there's a time where I get the opportunity to be recognised as some double, triple scoop of something on a stage, I think that's the music I'd like played, because it takes a bit of courage. You got to do what others won't. You got to hang on for dear life. You got to crack that damn whip hard and many, many, many times, and you will bring the crowd around. But if you're not prepared to hang on to the horse, the music's not going to make any difference. And I just love it. I know, and I don't know their names. I don't know what they're going to look like. I don't know where they're going to come from. But I just know here in my Noah that somewhere in amongst you guys, you're going to bring people into this thing and it's going to pop. I don't know whether it's going to be John or Mark or Maria or Lisa or Dean and Kay or Mike or Adam or Peter Benson or Ben Gardner. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be somebody who's not on the call tonight, but it's going to just go pop. And people are going to go, wow, what the heck happened? What happened was we got out of our head. We decided we were going to do this. We were going to do this. We all know somebody who's prepared to have a look. We all know somebody. Who do you know? Get out of your head. Ask them to have a look. Book a meeting in home. If you've sponsored this person, your responsibility is to book a meeting for them so as they can bring their people in. When their people get in, you go down there, book a meeting with them. When their people get in, go down, book a meeting with them. When their people get in, go down, book a meeting with them. Drive the depth. That's what Lynn Hagedorn's done. That's what Tanya Kirkpatrick's done. That's what Jay Bennett's done. That's what they've all done. And they haven't been showing one plan a week. They've been doing a minimum of 30 a month. It could be 5 in a house. That's 5 plans. So, guys, I'm going to unmute everybody. And there we go, all unmuted. Who's got some questions?
Tim, I have got something.
Sure.
When you give them the piece of the plan and you do the presentation, I have a bit of a challenge sometime with them being distracted from what's going on by reading the paper. They get a bit distracted. And last night I read through the front page and then I actually put it down on the coffee table, and a few people followed suit and put their paper down and listened to the videos. Yep. Is there any other hints and tips on helping so they're not so distracted with the paper?
Okay. What I'll do is when I give them the piece of paper, I say to them, look, stick with me with this. We're just going to read it line for line, and we're going to read the back part too. So follow me, just stick with me, and we'll get the whole thing done. Please don't try and read in front of me because you'll miss some stuff.
Okay.
And that way it's, say it with a smile on your face, right? Hey guys, look, here's a sheet. Please don't try and read in front of where we're up to. We're going to get through every line on both sides of this sheet. And otherwise, if you're reading it and I'm going through some other stuff, you might miss something that's really valuable to you. So just stick with me as we go through it, okay? And a couple of times, look, what I've done is people have been reading it and they've gone, oh yeah, to flip over the other side. And I just go, hey, come on, back on the front page. I'm not over there yet. I just have a bit of fun with them. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, righto. And as long as you have a bit of fun with it, they're okay. Right? But if you go, hey, listen, fella, I told you not to do that, it's not going to work too good, So that's how I do it anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else got a question, a theory, a rough idea?
I do. I've got something else too. Yeah. That clip that we watched of Trevor's and of all the people going across stage, for me that was amazing to see how not everyone, as Trevor was saying, not everyone looked like a gym junkie. I love that because, if we're not we get really hung up sometimes if we haven't got that perfect figure and we've got a health and wellness business. How does that work? So that was the biggest thing for me, the belief building.
Yeah.
Was to think I can build it now on my way to getting fitter and healthier. I don't have to actually start out having the perfect body.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Me
look,
too. Agree.
yeah.
Realistic.
Yeah, and this is the thing too. Remember, we do have a health and wellness business through the product, but we have a financial business, right? This is a financial business. This is a business of teaching people how to be financially well off. And like we talked about that last night on Monday night too. And I said to Trev, I said, mate, there was a bloke there. And I'm not trying to be rude, but man, if he bent over, they'd have a total eclipse in Tokyo, like he was a big boy. And he said, mate, you can't say things like that. Oh, righto, it's not politically correct, However, but you're right, Lucy, you're absolutely right. And the thing is that, again, we're in our head. We're thinking people are going to go, well, look at you, You're not a Twiggy, you're not a this or that or whatever else. No. I'm not here saying that I'm a health nut and I'm a gym junkie and I'm perfectly fit and healthy. I'm here saying I've got a way whereby you can make an absolute truckload of dough. Are you interested in looking or not? Right? We'll get healthy down the track. We'll work our way through it. It's happening. I'd hate to think where I'd be health-wise today if it hadn't been for Isogenics, I can tell you that much. All right. Any other questions, guys? I'll just stop the recording.
I did have some, but I have to have them next time because I've worked night shift. From the questions, from the assessment part, I wanted a few, talk about a few questions.
All righty. So we'll have a look at that next time, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay. Just on that, has anybody, how many of you have had a run at that assessment sheet?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's a little bit interesting, doesn't it? And you go, oh, geez, I don't know what he said. Oh, I'll have to have a look. It's really interesting.